Originally, the video was posted by the physical education teacher at Ministry of Education, Myanmar, King Hin Y herself at this Facebook link. Not sure about the authenticity of the video, so I'm claiming it was shot with a chroma background. Hence, I have posted the original link of the video, which is on Facebook. I wonder if it's fake. Some people are saying it's deep fake, but a version of it in Spain.
This would have been you if Bernie won.
Okay. Anyway, she has done dances there before, from my understanding, so possibly. Boğaziçi direniş haberlerini takip ediyor musun? I will talk about Boğaziçi in a second. God damn, chat. We're going through it.
Thanks, Hassan.
Piece by piece. Please. Okay, we're going to get there as well. But before we do anything else, it's top of the hour, every hour, where we do a 60-second ad break, folks. As always, it's time. If you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. AOC will be sharing what happened to her on IG Live tonight. What the fuck? What happened to her in what respect? Anyway, here's the 60-second ad. This is a crazy video, man. It's crazy. Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about was also another thing I wanted to talk to you about was why we shouldn't normalize Republicans, okay? Because as we've talked in the beginning half of the show, you know, President Biden is inviting Republican senators to the White House. Actually, you know what? I'll just play this again.
This morning, the first big test facing President Biden, who campaigned on promises of unity.
The unity bullshit, you know, the promises, what that means. And then after that, I'm going to talk about fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene and what the Republicans are doing with regards to censuring or expelling Marjorie Taylor Greene for some of the most insane shit that she has said. And how these pussy-ass Republicans, who are supposed to be like the normal adults in the room, are refusing to take action against her. And
the top Republican.
And actually, you know what? We'll just go right into it. And here is exactly why normalizing the Republican Party is so silly, is a foolish endeavor. Because here, this will describe the details while I go pee.
The House, Kevin McCarthy is set to meet with freshman member Marjorie Taylor Greene this week after her lies and conspiracy theories and her expressed approval of executing leading Democrats. But this weekend, Greene bragged about a love-filled conversation with the actual leader of the Republican Party, the former president. So where does the party really stand? John Avlon with a reality check.
Ronald Reagan had a signature line he used in speeches while building the conservative movement.
This is a time for choosing.
And for a party seeking a reset after losing the House, Senate, and presidency in 4 years under Donald Trump, you'd think this would be a time for soul searching. But you'd be wrong. Because the GOP seems hell-bent on going further into crazy town. They're censuring responsible Republicans for having the courage to condemn an insurrection while coddling conspiracy theorists. And if that sounds unkind, listen to this toxic nonsense from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here she is talking about 9/11.
It's odd. There's never any evidence shown for a plane in the Pentagon. But anyways, I'm not going to dive into the 9/11 conspiracy.
Barack Obama.
Yes, I do believe he is a Muslim.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
It's a crime punishable by death, is what treason is. Nancy Pelosi is guilty of treason.
The Las Vegas mass shooting.
How do you get avid gun owners and people that support the Second Amendment to give up their guns? Maybe you accomplish that by performing a mass shooting into a crowd that is very likely to be conservative.
And that's not including Facebook statements she agreed with, saying that the Parkland High School massacre was a planned false flag event, or embracing QAnon, or reportedly saying the California wildfires were sparked by space lasers controlled by liberals.
Hassle.
And did I mention indicating support for the execution of prominent...
Controlled by liberals? Huh. I think there's a part of those space lasers that wasn't just liberals. But hey. The conspiracy theory was Jews, not liberals.
Democrats? This is a person who never met a conspiracy theory she didn't like, and now she's doubled down, saying she'll never apologize. Well, calling out these unhinged statements shouldn't be partisan, and it damn well isn't cancel culture. But Republicans have been busier trying to purge Representatives Liz Cheney or Adam Kinzinger.
This is the best part about it, dude. Yo, this is the funniest thing. Okay, first of all, absolutely fuck Liz Cheney, okay? Horrible. Like, just for her lineage, just by virtue of being related to Dick, she should never hold office, okay? So that's one. But the hilarity here is, like, Republicans, instead of fucking expelling Marjorie Taylor Greene, are working to expel Liz Cheney for, you know, being on board with the Democrats and criticizing Donald Trump. That is what the Republican Party is, okay? Marjorie Taylor Greene got a slot in education.
Lasers.
Okay? Like, that psychopath is playing a role in looking at, like, education policies. Just remember that. Like, this is, the committee, the education committee. Like, it's fucking insane.
Green, who's gotten promoted to the Education and Labor Committee and reportedly raised $1.6 million in the process. This is unsustainable, but there is a fear-fueled logic to it. Listen to Gabriel Sterling, the former Georgia voting system manager, a lifelong Republican.
Trying to hold a caucus together like this that has Marjorie Taylor Greene on one side, just sending out wacko stuff, and Liz Cheney on the other side trying to be responsible.
You can't blanket the entire party based on that, nor can you the other for the bullshit they spew. No, you absolutely can, dumbass. It's the entire party fucking operating in unison to defend Marjorie Taylor Greene's psychotic bullshit while simultaneously literally fucking trying to vote to expel the other moderate Republican instead. Why? What? At what point do we say, well, the Republican Party is pretty fucking crazy? Like, you can't just a few bad apples the Republican Party if literally they are doing all of this in unison, in lockstep. Also, the other side is what, dude? The few bad apples on the Democratic side are what? Like those who say, hey, maybe you shouldn't post fucking photos of me at your rallies to try to get me assassinated, i.e. what Ilhan Omar was saying. Like, what's the other side? What are the Democrats doing that's batshit crazy? Can you explain that to me? Pork spending? Is that what your deficit spending? Is that the madness? Folks, we really got to talk about both sides of this equation. I mean, on the one hand, you have someone who's saying we need to execute Nancy Pelosi. And on the other hand, you have someone saying we need $1.9 trillion in COVID relief. Now, of course, who am I to say which side is worse than the other? Who am I to say that deficit spending is not as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than saying we should be able to execute a politician that we don't like? Right? Is that good? Did I do the both sides thing? There is no both sides, man. What the fuck are you talking about? There is no both sides. I mean, fuck the Democratic Party, too, for being super conservative on a lot of issues, but you can't literally say there's both sides in this argument. Like, there is no both sides, motherfucker. One believes in QAnon conspiracies, and the Republican Party is, like, hugging and defending her rather than outing her and being like, this is one person that is, crazy. Instead of saying, like, this is a crazy person, fuck her, we should move on, we should cut our losses and move on, they're saying, no, this is one of us. The real person who's not one of us is the moderate Republicans who are saying that the insurrection was bad.
You can't win one without the other.
He's saying the quiet part out loud. that Republicans need the crazy caucus to win. And that's the Faustian bargain here. Republicans have been playing footsie with fanatics for far too long, and now they're deeply embedded in the GOP. Because it's not just Green. There's a whole cadre of Republicans with ties to extremist groups. And
dude, I can't believe that, like, on the one, I can't get over the both sides argument. I can't believe that on the one hand, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, like, rose to prominence by shooting fucking Tannerite cans that, like, spelled out the word, like, socialism and Green New Deal and shit. And then on the other hand, you have what? Like, the most psychotic fucking take from a Democrat, like a young progressive Democrat, is like, we need to do something about this ongoing problem of anthropogenic climate change, which the scientific community declares one of the greatest disasters that we are facing as mankind. And the only way to deal with it is by, you know, building a fucking government's jobs program that's going to give millions of people jobs. Like, please, just please. That's the most insane thing that Democrats say from the point of view of, like, the American public. And you're over here like, oh, both sides. Like, there's no fucking both sides here, dude. Even defund the police. Okay, defund the police. Democrats don't say defund the police. It's an activist-backed movement. But let's say Democrats were advocating for defund the police. Defunding the police doesn't mean, like, fucking literally kill cops and jail them or some shit. Okay? It means take funds away from police departments and reinvest them into social workers so that cops are not overwhelmed and literally dealing with, like, mental health and wellness checks. Wow, dude. What a fucking psychotic approach, dude. This is exactly like saying Nancy Pelosi should be murdered.
much of the GOP still seems afraid to call out Trump's big lie. This is a corrosive kind of cowardice, a temptation to give in to a cult, deflected by a flurry of whataboutism. Maybe the fever will break if Trump tries to form his own party, as he's reportedly threatened, or maybe it will come if Republicans start standing up to extremists, like Reagan and Bill Buckley did to the John Birch Society.
Dude, Reagan is literally the reason why we have QAnon, man. Like, Ronald Reagan is the populist dipshit who lit the fucking fire under the Republican Party to go further and further, more and more reactionary. I mean, Nixon did it too, but like Ronald Reagan really fucking inflamed the psychotic reactionary point of view that a lot of Republicans in the base had
back in the day. But the fact is that Republicans are reaping what they've sown. And unless they start rewarding people who act responsibly and tell the truth over cultists and cowards who back up the big lie, this will not end well for Republicans or our democratic republic. And that's your reality check.
Look, our thanks to John. The fact that the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy going down to Florida to meet with the former president talking on the phone to Marjorie Taylor Greene, a loving conversation, that probably tells you everything you need to know about where the Republican Party is this morning.
But in recent years, we've forgotten our principles. The party that always spoke of a brighter tomorrow, it no longer does. It talks about a darker future instead. Hope has given way to fear, outrage has replaced opportunity, and worst of all, our deep convictions are ignored. They've been replaced by poisonous conspiracies and lies.
That was Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger launching a new political action committee, he says, to rebuild the Republican Party and resist its embrace of Donald Trump. Joining us now to talk about this
it's just a grift, dude. It's literally like a way to get liberals to fucking give Republicans money. It's great. And liberals have deep pockets, and they are ready. They are ready and able to do so. They're like, oh, yeah, no, this time it'll be different. These guys are going to be good. These guys are going to be normal. Yeah, okay. Sure.
The CNN political analyst David Gregory. David, great to see you. Is it fair to say that there is this battle royale underway right now in the Republican Party for the soul of the party?
No, there is no battle royale. There is this delusional media fucking depiction of what's actually going on, which is that, like, Republicans are having a crisis of consciousness. And then there is the reality. And that is, no, Republicans recognize that after years and years of agitating some of the most psychotic, some of the most reactionary fucking parts of their base to win elections, it is now a tidal wave that they cannot get in front of, and they simply must just go along and continue being a demagogue for this idiotic, psychotic conspiracy theory nonsense. Okay?
Bullshit.
They can't control this shit, dude, and they don't give a fuck. I mean, seriously, quite frankly, they just don't care. Okay? This notion that there are... What was the dono? I just missed it. This notion that there are these adults in the room that want to reform the Republican Party is a silly one, and it's a silly one propped up by liberals and in liberal media to make other liberals feel better and to essentially normalize the Republican Party when it's not happening. Just like it only took a couple weeks for Republicans to be like, oh, we should definitely do something about Donald Trump, to like, yeah, we're not going to fucking impeach Donald Trump. Shut the fuck up. It's fantastical nonsense. There is no rift within the party. There's like careerists who believe that, you know, you can be a moderate Republican and gain favor from liberals, who then will still turn around when push comes to shove and absolutely vote along the Republican Party line. Mitt Romney is a great example of this. Mitt Romney, who said, no, sir, no, Mr. Donald Trump, please stop, time and time again, or even went as far as to say Black Lives Matter is good, okay, and everyone applauded them for this, turned around and was celebrating Amy Covid Barrett's appointment, okay? He said that she was good. So what's up? These are the very same people that are first in line to vote for tax cuts. Doesn't matter what the procedure is. Doesn't matter how it gets passed. All they care about is the long-standing ideological agenda of the Republican Party, which revolves around starving the beast and revolves around eliminating congressional power and beefing up the courts and adding as many Republican Ghostbuster judges to court appointees, court seats as possible through the Federalist Society. And also expanding the executive power that the office holds, and also eradicate the democratic process as best as they can by voter suppression measures that they implement by lying about the outcome of elections. Stop saying it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's not actually Marjorie Taylor Greene. Why the fuck are you guys like acting like this is really her? You dumb fucks.
Hi, Hassan Pogo.
Like, what are you, fucking new here? Are you new? You think it's actually her? It was stupid. Anyway.
Between the Adam Kinzinger side group and the Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes, somewhere in the middle. I mean, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene represents a fringe, dangerous element that exceeds anything that we've seen. And the fact that she's being tolerated, that she's got a place on a committee, on the education committee, is frankly disgusting. And Kevin McCarthy's got a job in the House this week when he meets with her to figure out what he's going to do if he wants to be taking it all seriously. But I do think those are the polls. I mean, I think there's a traditional Republican Party, conservative, strong on defense, fiscal restraint, limiting scope and size of government, and this more populist wing that is represented by Trump, populist, conspiratorial, and then more consequential areas.
There's no fucking fiscal restraint within the Democratic Party. I mean, within the Republican Party. Oh my God. They do not care. They do not care about like deficit spending or increasing the deficit when it comes to tax cuts. Okay.
Too, around trade, protecting American jobs, America's place in the world, all of those things that he stood for that were obscured by corruption, incompetence, and other parts of him. But yeah, that's the battle right now. And that's why congressional leaders are so important, because somebody like McCarthy of California doesn't really want to stand up to Trump yet, even with him fading away or out of the picture.
And when
I think the real question is, how fringe is Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because this weekend, she's bragging about conversations that she's having with the person who really is still the leader of the Republican Party, and that's the former president of the United States.
These guys want to believe so desperately, like so many people want to believe so desperately, that there are sane Republicans out there. And that's at the heart of the theory that, like, you know, the Republican Party is just different. It's not actually Trump's party. There is a good Republican Party out there. We will find it. All it takes is for us to find that good, sane Republican Party. Like, no, it is Trump's party, okay? It is Trump's party. It's always been Trump's party. Trump is just a symptom, okay? He didn't change the Republican Party. He merely adopted the principles of those on the fucking ground. That's it. And that's why he's so fucking popular.
United States. This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote. She goes,
You mistake the party stands for individuals' opinions? That's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. And that's precisely why you can't point to a single fucking Republican in contemporary American politics and say, well, look, like this person in a leadership role within the Republican Party was very different. Like, you think Mitch McConnell is a sane Republican? Is that what you're saying? No, the sane Republican Party is the Democratic Party. I know I've said this before, but it bears repeating. You want to know what reasonable Republicans look like? Look to the Democratic Party, okay? That's what you would look like. You would be like, okay, I'm not a fucking homophobe. I'm not against like LGBT, but I want to implement free market solutions. Like, that is what the actual fucking sane Republican Party is, the fiscal conservatism and all that. That's literally what they're talking about. They are talking about modern day Democrats, okay? When they say sane Republicans. That's it. Joe Biden is a sane Republican. Here is a sane Republican responding to, oh, this is what I wanted to show you. This clip is fucking insane. Here is a sane Republican responding, or rather not responding to the question, is Marjorie Taylor Greene fit to serve?
About a member of Congress, a new Republican member of Congress, Trump loyalist Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's long embraced conspiracy theories like QAnon, voiced support for executing Nancy.
Air feels a bit like echo chamber in here. I don't give a fuck, you stupid motherfucker. Yeah, it's an echo chamber. Suck my fucking cock, dumbass. Echo, it feels a bit like an echo chamber in here. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Go back to your own fucking echo chamber. Dumb fuck. Stupid motherfucker, dude. The only echo you hear is your mother's back walls being blown out every night as I fuck her. You dumb bitch.
Pelosi, is she fit to serve, and should she be on the Education Committee?
Well, that's, first of all, the people of her district elected her, and that should mean a lot. They elected her, and she's going to run for re-election, and she'll be accountable for what she said and her actions. And then,
yeah, we need to wait for the re-election for accountability. Well, fuck off, man. This is a question that's literally outside of the electoral process. Like, the question is not, do you think the people of Georgia are going to punish Marjorie Taylor Greene for her psychotic ramblings, even though that those psychotic ramblings is why she fucking got elected in the first place? No, the question is, what do you think personally about her fucking saying insane shit?
Given her history, is she fit to serve?
I'm not going to answer that question as to whether she's fit to serve because she believes in something that everybody else does not accept. I reject that, but she's going to stand for re-election. I don't think we ought to punish people from a disciplinary standpoint, a party standpoint. Because
most of the comments she's being criticized for are 2-3 years old or more. Oh shit, dude. I totally forgot that when you are literally a fucking QAnon supporter for 2 and 3 years and you actually don't change your mind at all and you continue being a QAnon supporter and you win an election on being a QAnon supporter, then all of a sudden you can turn around and be like, well, this is cancel culture. It was 2-3 years ago. Hey guys, what have I always said? There is a dumb fuck part of the liberal brain disease that actually immediately fucking keyword searches when you see someone blowing up or going viral or something to find out like whether or not this person was a piece of shit at any given point so you can weaponize it against them. Okay? There are plenty of people who have literally changed their minds. There are people who are pieces of shit otherwise, but have changed their minds on a particular issue, experienced growth, I love that, okay? I hate when people do that. I hate when people use what you've said against you in the past, especially if you've changed your mind. Marjorie Taylor Greene never fucking changed her mind. This is her through and through, you dumb fuck. This is it. This is her. This has always been her. This is still her. So why are you rushing to make it seem like she's had a redemption arc when she clearly has not? Two years ago, I believed in a Jewish space laser. I still do today, but I haven't mentioned it publicly. Why am I being canceled? Yeah, exactly. That's what you fucking sound like, dude.
Because they...
Stop saying she ran unopposed. No, she fucking won her primary still.
think something a little bit different. We
Dems are giving Republicans 72 hours to act on our Democratic leadership laying down the gauntlet on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Steny Hoyer is expected to tell Kevin McCarthy he has 72 hours to strip Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments, or Democrats will bring the issue to the House floor, a source familiar tells me. His moves from Hoyer suggest that Democratic leadership want to give McCarthy time to act on Greene independently before truly pursuing a reconciliation on the House floor. There you go.
I heard you liked my box, Hassan. When you aren't unlocked, check it out.
What? Dude, your take is so naive. You clearly don't know any psychotic Republicans personally. I mean, just fucking take a look at all the shit Newsmax and Facebook is saying. It's all lies, but you're skipping the work of addressing their lies. Sure, I know you don't give a fuck about saving crazy conservatives, but without appealing to them, things are not going to get better. Dude, if I were to try to address, and first of all, that's a lie. I absolutely do address some of these conspiracy theories quite regularly. But if I were to sit there and address every single conspiracy theory that like Marjorie Taylor Greene has advocated for every single time, this would be an 11-hour broadcast of me constantly talking about, well, the wildfires were not caused by space lasers, and that QAnon conspiracies are completely crazy, and that Donald Trump did not actually win the election, and that Donald Trump actually lost the election with millions more people voting against Donald Trump than voting for Donald Trump. Like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to like literally fucking address every single conspiracy theory? I don't want to do that every single time. I do it from time to time, but I'm not going to baby Republicans every single time. Okay? Like, you yourself have said some of them are beyond redemption and crazy. You use the word crazy, and then you literally want me to fucking what? Uncrazy the crazy? And it doesn't even matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because when you unwind one of the more psychotic elements of a conspiracy theory, a new one will prop up to justify the previous one, as they always do. Anyway, and the worst part about that is that I already do address a lot of these fucking conspiracy theories. But right now, I'm more so focused on this notion that the Republican Party is sane and normal when they are literally the fucking demons that created the underlying hotbed of conspiracy theories that is a Republican constituency. And the reason why they believe in all this nonsense is because of all of the efforts that these reasonable fucking Republicans have engaged in for a very long time. One of the greatest examples of this is voter fraud, okay? Voter fraud is insignificant. Does it happen? Of course, but it's so fucking marginal that it does not move the outcome of any sort of election. The real problem is election fraud. Like, the entire voting system's being dismantled. The real problem are voter suppression. The real problem is voter suppression. But how do Republicans engage in voter suppression? By lying about voter fraud, despite the fact that numerous bipartisan studies on either side of the fucking political spectrum, have time and time again proven that voter fraud is not real, including the most famous American Enterprise Institute study, or is it the Heritage Foundation? I can't remember. But one of those two have done a comprehensive study where they looked at 30 plus years of elections that have occurred and found that there was only 1,200 instances of documented voter fraud. 1,200 over the course of billions of ballots being cast over the course of multiple fucking decades. Republicans have not stopped about lying about voter fraud happening regardless. It wasn't Donald Trump that said voter fraud the first time. Paul Ryan and all these other numerous reasonable Republicans have consistently cast cast suspicion and doubt over the integrity of American elections because they want to justify doing voter suppression, which is to eliminate poor people or make it as hard as possible for poor people and black and brown people to vote for the Democratic Party. Okay? So addressing that over and over and over and over again for the fucking 3 delusional Republicans who are in here who are not going to change their minds is a waste of fucking time. Okay? And I've done it so many goddamn times that it really blows my mind that some fucking dipshit in the chest like, you never address these conspiracy theories, when that's literally all I do.
Great call, all caps. Great call with my all-time favorite president. I'm so grateful for his support, and more importantly, the people of this country were absolutely 100% loyal to him because he is 100% loyal to the people in America first. I mean, look, if President Trump, I'm not sure that President Trump, the former president, is the fringe of the Republican Party. Everything we've seen is that he's the heart and soul right now of the larger Republican Party, which is why Kevin McCarthy's afraid to stand up to him.
Yeah, I guess I have a slightly different view, John. I don't think we know, right? I mean, he lost re-election. He couldn't get a second term. His party kind of not necessarily espousing all...
Believes in reconciliation for murderers, but not conservatives. Why not both? Brother, if I didn't believe that conservatives could rehabilitate themselves, I wouldn't have half the audience that I have currently. Okay? There are thousands of people in here who were fucking literally alt-right not that long ago, maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Shut the fuck up. What I'm simply talking about is people who just say, I don't give a fuck. No, boo-boo. You are wrong. I am right. I am going to keep crafting new conspiracy theories over and over again. The reasonable Republicans sit there and they don't fucking sit there and try to attack me, okay, with idiotic, psychotic, nonsensical bullshit. The reasonable Republicans are on the verge of de-radicalization, and what they do is they just sit there quietly, and then 4 months later, on their resubscription message, they say, hey, I used to be a fucking dumb hog, and I came here as a hate watcher, but thank God I stuck around because I'm no longer a fucking dumb hog Republican, and I am now, you have radicalized me, thank you so much. Okay? That's it. That's how it works. There's a difference between that guy who is in here right now. There's literally people like that in here right now amongst you, and the guy who's like, oh, shut up. You're just mad because both sides are both bad and you're defending the Democrats and Republicans are actually normal. Like, there's a difference between that person who just sits there quietly and listens and the person who's in here just to fucking say some idiotic shit and trigger me.
All of his views, but taking on the left, taking on the Democratic Party, made gains in the House and the Senate. So I don't know out of power how much authority he actually has. That's what we're taking.
My brothers are so close, but they won't watch because of your 9/11 comments. Yeah, call them pussies, dude. What? You're really gonna George Orwin 1987? You're really gonna George Orwin 1987 yourself by what? You want to stay in your hug box? What are you, a fucking commie? You're not gonna listen to this guy because he says some shit that the media misconstrued? It's literally George Orwin Animal Crossing, brother. What the fuck? If you say that, maybe you can fucking agitate them into watching for once.
Such a close look at each day.
Yeah, that's literally cancel culture, brother, the 9/11 tape.
I agree with you that Kevin McCarthy thinks that Trump still holds a lot of cards in the party, but we just don't know yet how much authority is there. I don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene speaks to what the future of the Republican Party is. I don't think that's the case, but I don't think we know at this division who truly has the upper hand. Right now, Trump still has enough of a platform. He's still getting enough attention, and there's still enough Republicans who are polled to say, yeah, he should he should run for re-election. But the idea that people want to run on Trumpism itself seems to me to be fading away. If you look at where Republicans are who are in office, besides a Marjorie Taylor Greene, how they're taking on Biden and so forth, I don't think it has all the hallmarks of Trump at the moment.
I want to say something else about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Over the weekend, she said that she will never back down. I'm quoting her. She will never apologize. OK, so this is exactly who she is. For some reason, she scrubbed her social media posts after the K file of CNN found the disgusting things that she said. So I don't know if she's so loud and proud why she feels the need to scrub her social media posts. But the point is, she is unapologetic for liking the idea of executing Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. She's unapologetic for harassing a teenaged Parkland school shooting survivor, for claiming that Sandy Hook didn't happen. I don't understand what's so hard for Kevin McCarthy. Why is this a tough one?
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't have any more insight than you just provided. There is no excuse for not seeking to limit her role, if not removing her. I don't see how this is someone who's an elected representative of the people in an institution like the House of Representatives if it wants to be taken seriously. So we're going to have to watch and see what happens over the next few days. I think her actions, her words speak.
What is it the drink one again? Is it the drink one? What was it? Let's see. What is it? Come back with drink? Sorry. I did come back with a fucking
I was a
drink.
dumb hog before I came into this stream, and after that I was instantly changed into a leftist Timbo. Thank you so much. #ad.
I did. I just George Orwin you, dude. This is George Orwin, 1980. 1989. I just love saying that. It's so stupid.
Speak for themselves and do real damage to the party, because it does raise the question of how
it is so psychotic that 18 million points changed hands total today for just
it's so lit.
Whether or not I would fucking bring back a soda pop. Okay? A little drinky. The drinky.
I know you are there.
You people
Why
have a
are there
problem,
two who
is
see
what I'm
no
trying to
notes on
say.
BTTV? And a Christmas hankies? And 2 CDs? Come on. Wasting
how
slots. That could be bad.
how much sway
this is a shame and a
these kinds of
travesty.
views have in the
Stop
party,
wasting slots.
and whether they have an ability, if there's anyone who is a true leader of the party who has an ability to stand up to them. And perhaps we'll find out over the course of this week.
So, yeah, psychos, sick freaks. Speaking of psychos, let's see.
I do think the more that the mainstream media continues to come out and say that all Republicans are birthers and crazy people and we believe in space lasers, then the more it makes traditional Republicans, and there's still a lot of them in the country, go back into their corners. And this is becoming very tribal. And I would argue that this is how we got Trump in the first place, is that there's just no nuance in it. I know.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up, Meghan McCain. You probably radicalize people into fucking becoming more psychotic just by being you, dude. I swear to God. I know I haven't talked about game stonks a lot. We will do one little minor baby GameStop allotted portion here. Okay, of the broadcast. Let's
You're
see.
learning here. Maybe it's fun, fine. Maybe it's a movement. But be prepared to lose 80 to 90% of it. And if it's still worth it, then have at it. But the biggest loss of capital here will be the human capital of young men who are sitting and staring at their phone and watching the price of Bitcoin or the price of AMC.
5 months into my conversion from being a conservative into being a leftist.
Wow, what a fucking take, dude. What a take. When you got nothing left. When you literally when you simply have nothing
very
left,
off-topic.
dude.
But what is happening in Myanmar?
What about the human capital, dude? Okay, I mean, he's right. Every time people are fucking dealing with the stock market, that's a loss of human capital. They could be building roads. Time to get these fucking billionaires, these hedge fund managers, to get back to work, baby. Pick up those fucking pitchforks, go fucking pitchfork a bale of hay, brother. It is a waste of time. He's right. Why is this guy even talking about it? Even talking about it is a fucking waste of time. Go do some fucking productive labor, bitch. I don't see you adding value, motherfucker. Go. Chop, chop.
And ask yourself, would you be better off taking that 1, 2, or 3 hours a day and working out, trying to form relationships with mentors, with romantic relationships, with people at work, getting great at something so you can be the person on the other side of the trade? The greatest loss in capital here is from young men who are more prone to gambling addiction, who don't understand.
Okay, again, correct. Except, you know, so is the rest of the stock market. What are you going to do about it, bitch? It's literally, they just got nothing left, okay? The only reasonable argument here is like people that are buying in at like 300 could lose if they're putting a lot of money down. Like they might lose a lot of money. Okay? Like people that have bought in when it was like at its max. And there are people like that. Okay? And there's going to be people who are either A, still trying to buy, or B,
need a lot of life if you want to get the
hold for too
sword of
long.
the Lost Woods.
Okay? Like, those people are going to lose some money. Hopefully, it's just a little bit of money and not a lot of money. Okay? But, having said that, anything beyond that is unreasonable to fucking criticize and cry about. And also, even then, it's like, if you're talking about gambling, you're talking about the entirety of the stock market. Sorry, that's just the truth.
The markets, I think we are setting ourselves up similar to how there's a ton of young women out there who became very depressed by sitting in their rooms looking at Instagram. Self-cutting and self-harm skyrocket. I think you are going to see an explosion in young male depression, and I think a lot of it is going to be reverse engineered to apps that convince you you're part of a movement or physically addict you to your phone. Ask yourself, would your time staring at Robinhood be better spent somewhere else? That is the real capital destruction that is taking place here. Maybe you're learning.
Incredible take. Incredible take. Very cool. Love it. Okay, now, in the interest of my sanity, I am going to briefly talk about what the fuck is going on in Turkey. Okay? These fucking Turks have lost their goddamn minds. They're freaking out. There is a prestigious university called Boğaziçi University, the Bosphorus College. Okay? And apparently there was some artwork. That someone drew, and I'm going to show you what the fucking artwork is. It's this, I think. Which is Kabe.
Extremely lib and stuck on the one kid who killed himself.
And this was like apparently extremely controversial by because Islamists thought, or like very very conservative religious freaks thought that this was unacceptable and really fucked up and sacrilegious.
Dog.
Okay. I guess because of like the trans pride, NB pride. Is there even an ace flag in there? Is that what's going on? Do religious people even know what these flags represent? I'm confused by that. Anyway, yüksek ihtimal Müslüman LGBT yaptı zaten. Yeah, some probably like a gay Muslim person drew this.
25 years Robinhood is not gonna move the needle,
saying like Allah says ace representation matters. You know what I mean? That's wild. Wild to me. That is something that took place. That like, you know, people would know and get upset about that is hilarious to me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just picturing some fucking like psycho Turkish dude who like went through the process of trying to understand what these flags are. Is like, amına koyayım ne? Bir dakika ya, bu böyle renkli ne lan bu? Aseksüel mi? Ay ananı sikerim ha, ne aseksüeli? Like, just fucking learning about the flags and like whipping themselves up in anger. Like, just getting progressively angrier as he's like learning about the fucking different flags and what they mean. You know what I mean? Just to get mad at it. Because there's no fucking way you see this and you think, wow, this is so fucked up on its face.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? Like, you had to literally go out and learn what it means so you could get mad at it, okay? And at that point, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? So that's Kabe. And the prestigious Istanbul University is fighting Erdogan's reach. Students of the professors of Boğaziçi University, one of Turkey's most well-known institutions, are protesting Recep Tayyip Erdogan's appointment of a new rector.
Joke's on him, I'm too stupid to know what's happening.
So,
by the way, I'm still holding and just ate a crayon.
So you saying the Nazi flag is okay? What? Okay, see, this is what I mean. Like, this is, like, I'm not gonna fucking talk to this dude. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, dude, shut the fuck up, idiot. Anyway.
Yep.
For several weeks, rain, shine, or even snow, a rebellion has been underway, and a rebellion was occurring in my fucking chat as well every day. There's this new rector in Boğaziçi University who's like a Erdogan guy. Okay? And they were protesting. They've been protesting it. Okay? They've been protesting this appointment. They've been protesting by yelling at me for not covering it for the past month or so. And everyday faculty members are standing on the main lawn in socially distanced silent protest. Their backs turned to the office of the rector, who's appointed by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. They oppose. Traditionally, the university academics elect the rector, who controls much of the life in the university from their own ranks. By naming an outside appointee to his liking, Mr. Erdogan has set a battle for control of one of Turkey's institutional jewels. And it's one of the best universities, as I've said already. It's like literally the GOAT institution in Turkey. And it's a very old institution. And of course, the college students are pretty fucking progressive in comparison to the rest of the country. The dude's name is Melih Bulu, a businessman known for his ties with Mr. Erdogan's Justice and Development Party, AK Parti, AKP. He was an unsuccessful election candidate for the party several years ago. Has been seen as one more step Mr. Erdogan has taken to extend his influence over every aspect of Turkish social and cultural life. Okay. What? Anyway, Erdogan amassed sweeping power since the failed coup in 2016. As you all know, some of you know that already, martial law, yada, yada, yada, changing the constitution with a referendum and turning it into a presidential system rather than a parliamentary one. All that. And this was seen as the final straw. And I guess in the protests that were being held...
Inbuilt differently, inbuilt differently.
In the protests being held, this is the only thing I could fucking find that's like recent. Turkey holds 4 over artwork depicting Islam holy site hung at Boğaziçi University. In the protest being held, they drew the thing I showed you. What the fuck is it? This. And that really pissed people off. And 4 people were detained for openly denigrating the religious values adopted by a section of the public.
Bipartisan politics, let's pass
and the police are on the hunt for 2 others, describing the artwork as an ugly attack on Islam. Turkish Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu said in a tweet Saturday that 4 LGBT deviants had been detained.
Hassle.
Bro, this shit is... Yo, Turks literally always tell me, like, bro, don't cover this stuff. Don't cover this stuff. You're embarrassing us to the international community, right? Like, they always say, like, oh no, Allah amına koydu. Dolar gitti. Dolar var ya aldı alacak yani. 10 dolar, 10 olacak amına koyayım. Hiçbir zaman PlayStation alamayacağız amına koyayım. And then you make me cover this story, which is the most embarrassing thing. It is so sad that, like, there is a fucking minister of the Turkish interior minister that is, like, literally saying LGBT deviants are doing this. You know what I mean? Like, that's there's nothing more embarrassing or sad than this. The artwork, which according to the Istanbul governorate, also included a rainbow flag, a symbol associated with the LGBT community. See, even fucking El Arabia doesn't know what the other flags are. They don't know. They saw the LGBT flag and they were like, oh, what is this, some gay shit? Like, they don't even know that, like, it goes beyond that, my guy. It's not even just LGBT. Anyway, the governorate also included a rainbow flag, a symbol associated with the LGBT community, was hung opposite the rector's office Friday at Boğaziçi University. The governorate said, in a move swiftly condemned by Turkish officials. Like, why? The disrespect shown to the Kaaba was neither freedom of expression nor the right to protest. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's spokesman Ibrahim Kalın tweeted, he vowed Saturday that this deviance will get punishment it deserves before the law. So this is fucking bullshit, okay? This is fucking bullshit. Suck my fucking dick. I cannot believe that they're losing their minds over some shit that they don't even know what the fucking meaning is because someone depicted the Kaaba this way, okay? What an embarrassing fucking thing to do. You are supposed to be a world leader. You are in charge of one of the world's largest fucking economies. There's 90 million motherfuckers living in Turkey, and this is what you're gonna get whipped up in a frenzy over? Fuck you. So fucking dumb, dude. What a bunch of piece of shit, conservative psychopaths. Who the fuck lives this way, dude? Seriously. Absolute just disgusting behavior, dude. Absolutely fucking disgusting behavior.
So I can buy party sandwiches for the Super
Bowl. Now,
next
of course, you know, ACAB all the way. Let's take a look at what's going on now in Istanbul. So the students have still been protesting. Ongoing protests are occurring. So here's some video footage of what the cops were doing recently, actually. If I'm not mistaken, this is from like yesterday or today. So the cop is yelling at these people that are quietly moving to the streets that look like students, saying terbiyesizler, which means shameless, those who have no shame. Now he's yelling, look on the ground, look to the ground. Hayvan oğlu hayvan, orospu çocukları, Allah belanızı versin, köpek oğlu köpekler. Tam ayı, Allah cezanı vermesin, hayvan. Ne hayvan, tam hayvan. Eşek oğlu eşek.
Ya tamam bırak. Ne yapıyorsun? Anlık vaziyette ilerleyin. Bakın bir şey yapmıyorsun.
So in order to like apprehend people, they're saying like you got to look on the ground, you got to look on the ground, and they're trying to clap people that way. It's just animals, okay? They are dogs. That's what they are.
Tamam gel.
Hogs, dogs, they're just pieces of shit. Well, when you say dogs in Turkish, köpek, it's like that's more frequent. Or donkey, son of donkey, eşek oğlu eşek, ayı oğlu ayı, bear, son of bear. That so-called art was made just to provocate, nothing more. So what, motherfucker? It's not like they depicted fucking Muhammad, naked or some shit. You can't fucking draw the goddamn Kaaba too. There is no part of Islam that dictates that you can't fucking draw the Kaaba, okay? Suck my cock. That art is meant to provocate, nothing more. Fuck you. It's literally in line with Islamic teachings. Shut the fuck up, my ass. If the existence of gay people is like considered to be denigrating your religion, then you got to fucking reevaluate your religion. I defend religious freedom every goddamn day. I defend Muslims specifically being attacked every goddamn fucking day. But when you have possibly another Muslim artist who is expressing their belief this way, You are doing nothing but showing the reality that, like, you know, your opinion over Islam is about hurting other people. Your only interest in Islam is as far as it hurts others. So fuck you. You're not a good Muslim. You're not a good person. And you will rot in Jahannam, okay? That's where you're going, motherfucker. If you think that, like, if you think that your version of Islam does not feature any sort of, like, anyone who you declare to be anyone you declare to be sinful, then you yourself are fucking sinful and gonna burn in Jahannam, okay? Fucking bullshit. Isn't Western Turkey super secular? Do they now have a lot of support among populace? No, Istanbul is super secular for the most part. No, Turkey is a secular nation. There are definitely some fucking ultra conservatives out there, but now 159 Boğaziçi University students have been detained for protesting Erdogan appointed rector in Turkey. Dedikleri doğru ama sonuç olarak insanların dini görüşlerine yapılmış bir hakaret var. Bunu nasıl normal karşılıyorsun da LGBT'ye bu kadar tepki gösteriyorsun? İkisi de aynı saygısızlık sayılır. Ne? Haşamiye lan. Yavşak pezevenk. Ne diyorsun? LGBT'nin existence'ı ne? Nasıl böyle gerizekalı bir laf edebilirsin sen ya? İnanamıyorum yani. Buraya gelip niye böyle konuşuyorsun abi? Salak mısın sen? Ben ne zaman LGBT insanların insanlara karşı böyle yaşamaları veyahut da LGBT posterini Kabe'nin etrafına koymanın hakaret olacağını söyleyeceğimi zannettin ki yani ne zaman? Niye böyle gerizekalı bir dünya görüşün var senin anlamıyorum. Resmen İngilizceden Türkçe'ye çeviriyorum artık. Hiç düzgün konuşamıyorum Türkçe. Vay amına koyayım unuttuk yani resmen Türkçeyi. Vay anasını. Uf. If it's disrespectful to have a fucking LGBT flag in a picture that depicts the Kaaba, then your worldview is just so distorted, dude. Okay? And once again, it's the fucking cultural, it's the conservatives, okay? That's what it is. It's the conservative Muslims that are the problem, not Islam itself specifically. But unfortunately in Turkey, Islam is seen as represented exclusively by very, very religious and very conservative zealots. So forcing a relief to others is wrong, but the opposite is wrong? Wait, what? Forcing a relief to others? The central image is the Kaaba. Like, this is the Islamic holy site. Mecca. Right? Isn't that it?
Thanks for the
Isn't it supposed to be a depiction of Kaaba? Or, yeah. It's not even the LGBT flag. Yeah, there's like different variations, but like there's like trans pride flag and shit.
How do we turn on subtitles for when you speak Turkish?
And the example I can use is basically like fucking, yeah, as someone also pointed out, Christian conservatives making abortion illegal in Poland, or Donald Trump and like Republicans fucking utilizing Christianity or a bastardized depiction of Christianity to fucking advocate for harming others and further marginalized groups and minority groups in the country. That's all this is. Okay? Turkey historically has had a very similar secular approach to Islam as Americans do to Protestant Christianity. Okay? Like, That was the dominant approach to Islam, both in Turkey and even in the fucking Ottoman Empire. Very progressive overall in comparison to other versions of demonstrating your Islamic belief.
9 months has smelled.
Okay, that's literally how it used to be. And in a populist fervor, Erdogan did a similar thing.